Hello everyone, this video goes through the story of Death Stranding. In an apocalyptic United States, Sam Porter Bridges is a freelance courier who is transporting cargo to central North City. He is interrupted by some invisible creatures, which Sam can sense but not see, because he is in a condition of dooms. These creatures are BT, beached things, which is from beach, a land thought to be unique to each person that is typically visited during near-death experiences, and is said to be the link to the afterlife. But after a cataclysmic event known as the Death Stranding, BT begin to roam the earth. With the help of a woman named Fragile, Sam successfully evades the BT. He arrives at his destination and meets Igor from Bridges' corpse disposal. After the event of Death Stranding, most of the country's infrastructures are damaged, and the remaining population confine themselves to remote colonies known as North Cities, which form the remaining United Cities of America. Bridges performs various governmental functions on behalf of the UCA by connecting country again. Igor tells Sam that one of the city's citizens has committed suicide, and his corpse is on the verge of necrosis, a process which will create a BT, so they must dispose the corpse properly by taking it to an incinerator. Sam is asked to help, but the convoy is hindered by the encounter of BT. Igor equips himself with Bridge Baby, a premature child, enabling the person connected to sense the presence of a BT. The vehicle is hit and turns upside down, and one team member is stuck below. As Igor is helping him out, rain known as timefall is created by nearby BT, and anyone hit by the raindrop will be rapidly aging and deteriorating in condition. Igor kills his teammate dragged away, but himself is floated up and consumed by BT. As he is a living human, this causes an explosion on the scale of a nuclear bomb known as the Void Out. Sam is seemingly killed in the process. However, as he is a repatriate, his soul winds up in a place called Sea, where it's guided through an underwater environment back to his body. Then Sam revives. Sam awakens in capital North City and meets Deadman, a doctor from Bridges, who tasks Sam with delivering morphine for the dying president of UCA, Sam's adopted mother, Bridget Strand. Bridget pleads with Sam to rejoin Bridges and help realize her dream of reforming America, and then succumbs to her illness. Sam transports Bridget's body to be incinerated, but refuses to incinerate BB-28, the Bridge Baby for Igor that had been marked for retirement due to its involvement in the previous Void Out. With BB-28 assistance, Sam is able to evade a horde of BTs and return to capital North City. Afterwards, he decides to take BB-28 as his own Bridge Baby and name it Lou. Upon his return to capital North City, Sam receives a message from his estranged sister, Emily Strand. She tells him that over the past 3 years, she led an expedition across the country, making contact with the remaining cities and survivor settlements, and setting up terminals that would allow them to connect to the Cairo network, a system that facilitates instantaneous communication and data transfer using the beach as a medium. However, upon reaching the last city on West Coast, Emily was captured and held hostage by an anti-UCA terrorist group called Homo Demons to guarantee Edge North City's independence. Sam is asked to follow the path and connect every terminal into one continental spanning network, thus reforming America. Sam reluctantly agrees. On his way to Port North City, Sam encounters a masked man who has terrible ability of summoning and controlling BT. He introduces himself as Higgs, the leader of Homo Demons, and then summons his BT on Sam. After defeating it, Sam again meets Fragile, the leader of Fragile Express, who can teleport herself to everywhere through Cairo network. She and Higgs used to be partners before he betrayed her and forced her to run under timefall with a bomb in order to save South North City. Fragile proposed to Sam that they work together against Higgs. As he continues on his journey, Sam eventually gets swept up in a crazy storm that transports him to a battlefield set sometime during World War I. It is there that he sees a mysterious soldier who desperately wants his loot. After fighting his way out back into reality, Sam realizes that only a few seconds have passed. Sam's next stop has him meeting Mama, a woman who is tethered to her dead baby, which floats around her as a beachy. Terrorists attacked the hospital while she was giving birth. She got stuck under rubble during a C-section operation, and her baby died while Mama lived, connecting them via the beachy's umbilical cord. Mama informs Sam that the limiter on Cupid, the device Sam uses to connect the station to the chiral network, is faulty. In order to correct it, Sam needs to seek out a woman named Lockney, who, as it turns out, is actually Mama's estranged twin sister and her baby's biological mother. To prove that Lockney can trust him, Mama lets Sam to reunite the two sisters, but not before cutting the umbilical cord connecting Mama to her BT baby. Lockney helped to fix the problem in Cupid, but Mama dies on arrival. As a result of severing her ties with her BT baby, her soul instead bonds as one with Lockney's. Returning to Bridget's base, Sam is informed by Deadman that while BBs are meant to be a bridge between the world of living and the other side, Lou is starting to veer too closely to the world of the living by developing into an actual baby. It will cease functioning in a couple of days, unless he performs an operation to reset it. As he's also suspecting the true purpose of Bridget's experiments on BB, Deadman tells Sam to meet him secretly in the mountain to retrieve the rebooted Lou. However, the reunion is interrupted by another chiral storm, and they two are trapped inside a World War II-themed nightmare world. When he eventually finds Deadman through the war zone, Sam takes BB back. Soon afterwards, Sam faces off against a mysterious soldier once again, and in another scuffle, he manages to snag his dog tag before waking up in his private room. Deadman brought him back and helped find out the mysterious man's identity, Clifford Unger, a former US Army Special Forces captain. Sam pays a visit to a scientist, Hartman, who dies every 21 minutes for 3 minutes before being revived, allowing him to explore beaches 30 times per day in an effort to locate and reunite with his dead wife and child. Sam makes his way to Hartman with umbilical cord from Mama and President Bridget Strand. Deadman wants him to investigate, as he thinks these umbilical cords are keys to unlock the mystery of Death Stranding. Hartman deduces that the cord, along with Mama's body, have cells infused with chiralium, giving them a connection to the beach and allowing them to escape the flow of time. Similar living beings exist on Earth before, and Hartman calls them extinction entities. After crossing a giant tar pit, Sam finally reaches his destination on the west coast and completes his goal of reconnecting America. It is at this point where Hicks reappears with Emily, applauding Sam on an unintentional job well done. Now that the chiral network is complete, Hicks plans on using Emily, who is also an extinction entity, to merge all of mankind's beaches onto a single shore and trigger a final Death Stranding to bring on the sixth and most devastating extinction event. Hicks runs off with Emily to the beach, but fortunately, using Fragile's special power, Sam is able to follow him for one final fisticuff showdown. After beating up Hicks and leaving his fate up to Fragile, Sam rescues Emily. On the other side of the beach stand Bridget Strand and Bridget's director, Die Hardman. They are approached by Clifford Unger, who demands his BB back. Years ago, Clifford was lied to when he entrusted his baby to Bridget after his wife wound up in a coma. Upon learning that his baby is being used for an experiment, Clifford tried to escape with his baby, but he got caught, leading to Bridget giving one of his subordinates, Die Hardman, the order to kill him. Tragically, an errant bullet hits the BB, sending it to the beach, where it's revived and sent back by Emily. Though the baby can no longer serve its function as a BB, Bridget decides to adopt it and raise it as her own son, who is in fact Sam himself. Before he's reached by Clifford, Emily shoves Sam off, and he reawakens in a private room. A return Fragile reveals the last word Hicks has told her, that he is not true leader of Homo Demons, but Emily is. With the help of Fragile and other friends, Sam travels to the beach once again to prevent Emily from initiating the final stranding, but instead, he finds Bridget there and learns that Emily and Bridget are in fact one and the same. bridges its body to Emily's soul that is stuck on the beach. Together, making up one entity, Emily gives Sam a choice to kill herself to stop the stranding, but Sam instead refuses to kill her, which leads Emily to tell him the truth. From the start, she doesn't really want to bring on extinction. Trapped as she is in her role as extinction entity, and knowing that Death Stranding is inevitable, she's been spending all her life to research on how to prevent Death Stranding, including BB technology. Sam is eventually rescued and brought back to the world of living thanks to the combined efforts of his friends. Dai Hardeman becomes the new president of the UCA, and after the presidential inauguration, Deadman returns Sam's Lou back to him. But unfortunately, Lou is dead, and will need to be incinerated like any other corpse. Sam travels to the incinerator where he starts the process of incinerating, but grabs his BB at the last second. He removes Lou from the BB pot, and Lou revives like a miracle.